Hello, my name is Colby No, and welcome back to my channel where here we talk about Bitcoin. Today I'm coming at you with my two Satoshis, my thoughts, my feelings about how my bank took my money. So I went to send some money overseas from the UK to the USA through a bank that's a four-letter word. I'm sure you'd recognize the bank, an international bank, and I sent a little bit of money because I had to pay a bill in the United States. I agreed to pay a certain amount of fees in order to send that money, and I thought, wrongly, for that money to be received by the other bank in the United States. What ended up happening is I agreed to the fees, I sent some British pounds to the United States of America, and what ended up happening is that I received less money than I was expecting. What happened was the intermediary banks, because of the way that the banking system works, of course, everybody's got to get their cut. So, unlike Bitcoin, which is a permissionless network that is decentralized, where anyone can send Bitcoin without anyone else's permission through a Bitcoin node, in the banking system, it's very much a permissioned system where really there's only one node, and that's the central bank in whatever jurisdiction you are using their money in. Because it's not your money, it's their money. So in any case, I sent some money, and I thought that the fees that I agreed to, I thought that was it, as far as I thought I could expect a certain amount. And of course there'd be fees on the other side, but what ended up happening is I sent the money through an international bank. They also, it goes through the Fed wire, through the main node, if you will, of the central bank. Then it goes to a commercial bank who's the intermediary, who ends up taking a different cut of the transaction. Come to find out, the international bank that I sent it from also has a presence in the United States who took the extra fees, so it's like the same bank just ended up taking more fees. Whatever, it goes with the territory in the fiat standard. But I thought it was interesting how much fees are involved. Whereas if you look at Bitcoin, for example, such a huge amount of value gets transacted every 10 minutes. For example, block 751,413 was just mined and confirmed, and that was for a total of 152 million US dollars worth of BTC. Now let's take a look at one of those transactions in comparison. I ended up sending just a few £100 and paying what I feel to be exorbitant amount of fees. But it's interesting to compare. So for example, someone just sent, from one input, they sent $5.35 million of Bitcoin. That's about 268 Bitcoins. How much did they pay in fees, I wonder? This transaction of, again, 268 Bitcoins worth $5.35 million paid a whopping 1,450 Satoshis. How much is 1,450 Satoshis in US dollars? That is, wow, 29 cents. So someone moved that much value for 29 cents on-chain in the Bitcoin blockchain. So it is fascinating to see the difference between the money changers who take their cut and you wind up with much less. I ended up paying over 10% in fees to move money from my bank account in the UK to my bank account in the USA. And by the time my money reached my other bank account, I ended up paying more than 10% in fees, whereas this person's paying such 29 cents to move millions and millions of dollars worth of Bitcoin. It's just so much more of an efficient system That's my 2 Satoshis for the day. Hope you got something from it. Consider how much value gets moved on the Bitcoin blockchain and how efficiently that is versus trying to send a bank wire, let alone an international bank wire. It's a complete hassle and it's very inefficient.